Describing Susan in one word. Wow.
Oh boy, that's hard.
Curious.
Intent.
Fearless.
Somebody already used that word? Ah.
Commanding.
She's legendary.
Loud, loud, loud.
Decent.
Vibrant.
Indefatigable.
She was a force.
The Alliance was formed in 1978 as an umbrella organization for 25 nonprofits in Boston advocating for historic preservation. Susan held the reins of the organization from the beginning, serving as secretary, vice chair, chair, and then president of the organization for many years. Through Susan's leadership, the Alliance engaged in a number of projects, including the United Shoe Machinery Company building, the Fort Point Channel Historic District, the Northern Avenue Bridge, Filene's Building, the Charles River Esplanade, Boston City Hall, the Theater District, Chestnut Hill Water Works, and Fenway Park. Susan's passion and perseverance in preservation still inspires me today, and it's the foundation on which the Alliance is based.
When Susan moved into the South End, it was probably not where her parents, or in fact my parents, had ever imagined their kids living. And Susan got involved in every aspect of the community, the neighborhood.
I decide that I want to try to do a then and now kind of comparison for the city, and I have this great idea. I'm getting nowhere with it. And about the same time, I hear that this feisty woman in the South End is organizing people for some alliance of some kind. But Susan said, no, you got to do this and you got to do that. She focused that project in a way that I never could have.
One of the first projects that I was lucky enough to get was the Porter Houses, which was one of the first homes built in Boston on the Neck, but was in a terrible state of disrepair. She really coached me, and in that way she was really one of the first people to teach me about historic preservation.
She was very motherly, I felt, in how she built a relationship with me. Even later in my career, anytime I saw her, she was always so welcoming.
Some of these communities are just really lovely, and you appreciate all the effort that the preservation movement made on keeping these this way. So I think part of Boston's beauty is due to the Preservation Alliance and Susan's perseverance.
The Custom House, as you know, was the tallest building in the city, and sort of a funky building that you can't do anything on every floor. So it was slated to be torn down, and after decades, we finally found a developer who would make suite hotel rooms on each floor.
She mixed a bulldog determination, but she was also resilient. The project had a huge setback. She was like, no, we need to pick ourselves up, get organized, and charge right back on again.
For women in the field, she was a mentor. She had scores of young women. I was one of them once. She cared about what you were doing and why you cared about things.
She feared no agency, she feared no authority. She was the friend of the history of the city of Boston. She had a great sense of humor, which I always valued. She never took herself very seriously. She took her mission very seriously. Roger Takev said to me, Susan would have loved one more shot at you. We could disagree, but we were never disagreeable.
What you would see today is not a Fenway Park. Buildings like the Charles Street Jail, the South End's Hayes Park, and the Boston Common.
She had a sense of what she wanted and what we should have, and she made itself very well known.
A force for good in the city. She just kept on coming.
She had that curiosity we all lose, but she retained that.
Susan honored friendship. She cared about the city.
She was the heart of Boston in so many ways, and that's what I think we'll miss the most.
The field of historic preservation continues to evolve, moving from a focus on bricks and mortar to a focus on people and storytelling. The foundation that Susan created at the Alliance will continue to inspire our work for years to come. Susan loves Scotty dogs. She used to have a little Scotty dog figurine on her desk at the office. Once her health declined and she was no longer able to join us at work, I kept the little Scotty dog on my desk to remind me of Susan's passion, perseverance, and dedication to our work. On behalf of the Boston Preservation Alliance and the entire preservation community, We thank Susan Park for a lifetime of dedication to historic preservation in Boston.